That feeling when you first swing your legs out of bed in the morning, a little stiffness in the back, a heaviness in the knees that takes a moment to shake off. It's a familiar story for many of us after 50. But there's another morning visitor that can be even more persistent, that tickle in your throat. It starts small, a tiny scratch that makes you clear your throat once. Then twice. Soon it becomes a dry, rattling cough that seems to echo in the quiet of the morning. You might blame it on the dry air from the heater or the last remnants of a cold you had weeks ago. But when that morning cough becomes a daily ritual, it's no longer just an annoyance. It's a signal. In traditional Chinese medicine, we see this as your body whispering that something is out of balance. Specifically, it's a call from your lungs, the delicate organs that govern not just your breathing, but your body's first line of defense against the outside world. This isn't about a serious illness, but about a subtle weakness, a vulnerability that, if left unaddressed, can make you more susceptible to every little bug that comes your way. The good news is that the solution isn't found in a pharmacy, but right in your kitchen fruit bowl. In TCM, we view the lungs as the master of qi, the vital energy that animates our entire body. Think of your lung qi as a fine, protective shield that covers your entire body, warding off external influences like wind, cold, and dryness. When this shield is strong, you feel resilient. You can walk in a chilly breeze and not immediately catch a cold. Your throat feels clear and your voice is strong. But as we age or after an illness, this lung qi can become depleted. The shield weakens. That's when a little dry air or a bit of dust can trigger that nagging cough. Your throat feels like dry parchment because your lungs lack the moisture to keep it lubricated. This ancient understanding is surprisingly in line with modern findings. Research from institutions like the China Medical University Hospital confirms that chronic coughs aren't just from infections, they're often triggered by internal factors like stress or a dip in our body's natural defenses. The persistent irritation is a sign that the body's internal environment is struggling to find its equilibrium. To restore this balance, we don't need a harsh chemical, we need something gentle that both soothes and strengthens. This is where a simple 3,000-year-old remedy comes in the humble orange peel, paired with the healing power of raw honey. Honey is what we call a yin tonic in TC, and it replenishes moisture and soothes irritated tissues like a gentle rain on parched earth. Orange peel, on the other hand, is considered warming and has a knack for breaking up and moving out any lingering mucus or dampness that can clog the airways. The volatile oils in the peel act as a natural expectorant, helping you clear things out gently. They create a powerful synergy that moistens the dry, clears the stuck, and fortifies your defensive energy, which we call Wei Qi, to help you stay well through the seasons. Let's look at a familiar story. A 68-year-old retired school teacher, let's call her Mrs. Eleanor, came to see me. For months after a bout of the flu, she was left with a persistent, dry, hacking cough. It was worst in the mornings and whenever she tried to lie down at night. She had tried everything from lozenges to strong cough syrups. But nothing gave her more than temporary relief. She felt drained, and her sleep was constantly interrupted. In TCM terms, her lung qi was weak and her lung yin, the moisturizing aspect, was severely depleted from the illness. We started her on a simple daily routine. A 1 cup of simmered orange peel with a spoonful of raw honey every morning on an empty stomach. We also adjusted her diet to include more yin-nourishing foods like pears, almonds, and white mushrooms, and asked her to avoid cold, raw foods that could further weaken her system. Within a week, she noticed the cough was less forceful. In 3 weeks, the morning hacking spells were gone, replaced by a much gentler clearing of her throat. She was sleeping through the night again. It was a beautiful example of steady progress through consistent care, using nature's wisdom to guide the body back to health. Understanding how to care for your lungs goes beyond just a single remedy. True wellness is about creating a lifestyle that supports your body's natural balance. Here are a few key strategies from TCM to help you build that resilience from the inside out, especially if you experience that nagging cough, catch colds easily, or just want to feel more robust. First, let's focus on nourishing lung yin. Think of your lungs as a delicate, moist sponge. For them to function properly, they need to stay hydrated. When lung yin is deficient, the sponge dries out, leading to that scratchy throat, dry cough, and thirst. This is common in dry climates. During winter or simply as we age, to rehydrate this sponge, you can gently simmer a pear with a little honey until soft. Pears are a premier fruit in TCM for moistening the lungs. Eating white-colored foods like almonds, daikon radish, and cauliflower also helps, as the color white is associated with the lung organ system. Second, we must strengthen the spleen to stop phlegm at its source. In TCM, the spleen is the main organ of digestion. Picture it as your body's kitchen stove. When the stove's fire is strong, it transforms the food you eat into energy and nutrients sufficiently. But if the fire is weak, the food isn't cooked properly, leaving a sludgy, damp residue. This dampness is the raw material for phlegm. The lungs are said to be the storage container for phlegm, that the spleen is the factory that produces it. If you have a cough with sticky or white phlegm, feel bloated after eating, or experience general fatigue, your spleen needs support. The best way to do this is to eat warm, cooked foods, avoid iced drinks, excessive dairy, and sugar, as these put out the digestive fire. A simple cup of fresh ginger tea with a few reed dates gujo best can work wonders to warm up your internal stove. Third, it's vital to warm and dispel cold from the body. Sometimes a cough is a direct result of a cold pathogen invading the body. This is your classic icota chill scenario, often accompanied by a stiff neck, a runny nose with clear fluid, and feeling cold. The goal here is to gently warm the body to push the pathogen out. The orange peel remedy we discussed is perfect for this, as the peel is naturally warming. You can enhance its effect by adding a thin slice or two of fresh ginger to the simmering water. Another wonderful home practice is to use a hairdrawer on a low, warm setting to gently blow warm air on the back of your neck for a few minutes. This area is considered a gateway for wind and cold to enter the body, and warming it helps to seal that gate. Fourth, we can bolster the kidney key to grasp the breath. This is a deeper concept for more chronic conditions. In TCM, the lungs control breathing in, but the kidneys are said to grasp the key, pulling the breath down for a full deep inhalation. If your kidney energy is weak, you might experience a shallow breath, a weak and chronic cough, or find yourself getting breathless after minor exertion like climbing stairs. This is often accompanied by a weak lower back or knees. To support your kidneys, incorporate dark-colored foods into your diet like black beans, black sesame seeds, and walnuts. A simple and effective exercise is to gently rub your lower back with the palms of your hands until the area feels warm. This stimulates the area where the kidneys reside, boosting their energy. Finally, remember to soothe the liver to ensure smooth qi flow. Have you ever noticed your cough gets worse when you're stressed, frustrated, or emotional? In TCM, the liver is responsible for the smooth flow of qi throughout the body. When you experience intense emotions, this flow can get stuck or stagnate. This stuck energy can then rebel upwards, irritating the lungs and triggering a cough. It often feels like a tickle or a lump in the throat that you can't clear. People who need this are often sighing a lot or feel tension in their neck and shoulders. The solution is to move your qi gently. Practices like deep breathing, taking a walk in nature, or gentle stretching can help unlock the energy. A cup of chrysanthemum tea is also excellent for calming the liver and clearing any heat that rises from frustration. To make these principles easy to apply, here are 2 simple daily routines you can weave into your life. The first is, of course, the morning orange peel honey. Grab one organic, or a tablespoon of good quality raw, unpasteurized honey. The organic part is important because you don't want to be simmering pesticides from the peel. Carefully peel the orange and don't worry about scraping off all the white pith. That part contains beneficial compounds. Place the peels in a small pot with about 1 cup of water and let it simmer gently for 3 minutes. This helps to soften the peel and release its essential oils while reducing some of the bitterness. and strain the warm liquid into your favorite mug. Let it cool just a little so it's not piping hot. And stir in your tablespoon of honey. Sip it slowly on an empty stomach first thing in the morning. This is especially helpful for anyone with a dry, lingering cough or those who want to build up their defenses before the colds and flu season. However, if you have diabetes, be mindful of the honey's effect on your blood sugar, and if you have significant acid reflux. The citrus might be a bit aggravating, so start with a very small amount to see how you feel. A good way to self-check is to notice if, after a few days, your morning throat clearing becomes less frequent and your throat feels more comfortable. That's a sign it's working for you. For an afternoon or evening routine, try a spleen strengthening weed gate and ginger tea. This is wonderfully simple and tackles the root of phlegm for many people. All you need are 3 to 5 dried reed dates, also known as gujobas, and 2 or 3 slices of fresh ginger. Simply put them in a mug, pour boiling water over them, cover, and let them steep for about 10 minutes. Or for a stronger brew, you can simmer them in 2 cups of water for about 15 minutes. This tea is perfect for those who often feel tired, a bit bloated, or notice they have a cough with clear or white phlegm. It warms your digestive system and builds your energy. The best time is in the afternoon, as it can give you a gentle energy boost without caffeine. You'll want to be cautious with this if you have signs of heat, like a red face and very yellow coating on your tongue, or a feeling of constant thirst. Ginger is warming, so it can be too much for a system that's already overheated. To see if it's right for you, notice if you feel a gentle warmth in your belly after drinking it and if your energy feels a little more stable the next day. These are signs that your digestive fire is being nourished. One of the most important lessons in traditional wellness is that there is no single magic bullet for everyone. What works wonders for your neighbor might not be the right fit for you. I often see people hear about a remedy like this orange peel honey and try it without considering their own body's unique constitution. For instance, this remedy is primarily warming and moistening. It's fantastic for a cough that comes from coldness or dryness. But if a person has a cough from what we call one heat, characterized by a sore throat, yellow or green phlegm, and a feeling of feverishness, a warming remedy could actually make things worse. This is the beauty and challenge of TC, and it's not about treating the cough, but about treating the person who has the cough. True healing comes from understanding your specific pattern of imbalance. This is why copying others can sometimes lead to frustration or even make a condition linger. It's always best to listen to your body's signals. Every small step you take towards understanding your body is a victory. This wisdom, passed down through generations, is not about complicated formulas but about simple, daily acts of care. Your body is always communicating with you through signs like a morning cough, a bit of fatigue, or poor sleep. Learning to listen and respond with gentle, natural support is one of the most powerful things you can do for your long-term health. Send this to someone you care about who might need it. A friend who is always reaching for cough drops or a family member who seems to catch every cold that goes around might find a little bit of comfort and relief in these timeless practices. Have you experienced a nagging cough that just won't quit? Share